The standards of care.
That's the standards of care. That's not a journal. That's not a study. That's not an organization. That's not an institution. You're just saying words.
Peace and blessings, you ugly mofos, and welcome to another episode of He Rants. I am your host, Felix Long Trousers. Hey, check this out, man. This is your first time on He Rants. I want to let you know I'm just a random guy who likes to talk about random stuff that interests me, and I just feel like I need to inform you guys about it. If that sounds sexy or attractive to you, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well as with the post notifications. That way, you'll always be one of the first to hear the voice. Same time, leave a like, because I'm so damn insecure in those likes. Definitely let me know I'm doing a stand-up job. And at the same time, you gotta buy the merch. Mofo, men offering females orgasms because we're so humble. Link in the description box below. Let's not waste some more time. Let's get right into this reaction.
We keep hearing this is a politicized issue. This is a manufactured culture war. I got to say, we aren't the ones who did that. We aren't the ones that came up with this radical new movement that is performing permanent physiological changes to children with no evidence of any benefits. We didn't start that.
I ain't gonna hold you. Even though I know he's on the side that I feel like I'm on, right? Because I don't want kids transitioning and all that stuff because they don't understand anything at their young age. They believe in freaking Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy and freaking the Easter Bunny and whatnot. I don't think that's somebody that you can trust in making pretty strong, rational decisions and whatnot. But this guy looks like a villain. I think it's because the eye patch, and it's not even like a regular eye patch. It's an eye patch that just stays on the eye by itself without any strings. That's barbaric. That's dastardly. And he reminds me of Lana, I think from what's that show? Futurama, right? Yeah, the one-eyed person. Let's keep going.
We didn't start that. We're just trying to stop it because it's crazy. It's a contentious issue, which almost 70% of Americans oppose. So we are just saying here that taxpayers...
That's crazy that only 70% opposes this. That is what, only 70%? Damn. So there's 30%. So almost a third of the United States agree with this? I think that's still a problem. It should be like at least 3% that believes in this, or 5% at the most, right? Let's be honest. But no, for real, this guy really looks like a villain. And his last name is Crenshaw. That's interesting. Definitely nothing good happens in places called Crenshaw. I only know one Crenshaw, and it's in Cali, and I've never really been there. I think I've drove through there, and it didn't seem very pleasant. Let's keep going.
Here, that taxpayer money shouldn't be used for it. That's all. This should not be that controversial of an issue. Questions are for Dr. McNamara. I just want to ask you, honestly, you're not concerned about the unknown effects of puberty blockers, hormones, and surgical interventions in kids, the long-term effects, not concerned about that?
Everything I've said here today comes from a place of deep honesty and conviction for the care that I provide and the community that I'm a part of.
You've said that we've cherry-picked data. How do you mean that?
So it is very unscientific and flawed to pick a single study or a single statistic and to discuss it in isolation.
Totally agree.
Medical experts are able to talk about all of the evidence as a whole.
Totally agree. So it's good to look at systematic reviews, right? That's the gold standard of evidence when you're trying to understand whether something works or whether it doesn't. So the British Journal of Medicine looked at 61 systematic reviews with the conclusion that, quote, there is great uncertainty about the effects of puberty blockers, cross-sex hormones, and surgeries in young people. Journal of Endocrine Society came up with the same conclusion. Even the American Academy of Pediatrics, they all cite the lack of evidence. And so here's the thing.
Woo, man, this villain right here. This villain, he's a Marvel villain for real. He got all the facts and data right there to tell you. The thing is, I hate when certain people cherry pick stats, right, in order to go with their own narrative. And the funny thing is kind of interesting that she said that they cherry picked their information because they're the main ones cherry picking stuff left and right. Most of the time, they usually only have one study. In the study, if you look deep down into the study, you'll find out that the study was biased, right? It used to be funded by transgender. I think there's one specific study they like using a lot. And a lot of people use that. What's that other dude, that sex guy, Kinsley, I think it starts with a K, right? You guys know what I'm talking about, the sex guy. I think they said a lot of his stuff was unethical and a lot of his stuff was BS. The mere fact that people are still using him as reference when it comes to all types of sex data, right, is baffling. It's baffling. I'm stricken with with baffle. I don't think that's a real thing, but I'm just gonna say that. All right, let's get back into this. This guy is so villainous. I love it. I respect it so much.
The thing. If you're doing a therapy and it's, temporary, whatever, fine, maybe let's try it, let's see if it works. But when you're talking about permanent physiological changes, do you not agree, just from an ethical standpoint, that you might want extremely strong evidence of the benefits? And there is no systematic review that states that there is strong evidence of benefits.
Sir, are you aware of how the quality evidence grading system works and how it's applied?
Yeah, we read through it. That's why I'm citing these journals. So which journal says something different? We should have that debate. Tell me a journal that has done systematic reviews that cites different evidence, that cites strong evidence for benefits of these therapies.
The standards of care were developed based on extensive.
You're not telling me any journal, you're not telling me any study. Don't say
That's not
standards
what
of care.
Yeah. So
Tell me one.
the standards of care.
That's the standards of care.
Yes,
That's
standards of
not
care.
a journal, that's not a study. That's not an organization, that's not an institution. You're just saying words. Name one study.
Yeah.
I'm out of time. I yield back.
Ooh, don't you just love it? Don't you love it? This is why a lot of these individuals don't like going up to debates, right? They don't like going to debates because usually what happens is when things get too serious, right? They have nothing to say because a lot of their arguments are easily debunked and destroyed, right? Even here, she didn't really have any facts or data to actually go on her side, proving that a lot of this stuff, which is castrating children, let's be honest, right? Let's be honest. Like, dudes is getting their joints chopped off. If they're not, they're getting to the point they usually try to get the hormone blockers before their genitalia has fully developed, right? So even if they try to get off of it, depending on how long they've done it, it's most of the time they're not able, they're euthanized. You know what I'm saying? They're not able to produce enough semen and whatnot in order to have children. And also goes the same way of women. Sometimes even worse with them, they get their the memories, all that stuff removed. There's a lot of stuff. I'm not in full detail, but you guys will do enough research to find out. A lot of the drugs that they use is stuff that they've used to castrate individuals, prison inmates and whatnot. There's a whole lot of wild stuff, right? There's a whole lot of wild stuff. And she knows this, right? She knows this. I think a lot of people understand this, but feelings. Feelings is what's so important. It's Pride Month, right? I'm happy. This is why I'm dropping some of these, LGBTQ videos, right? Because it's Pride Month. We gotta say some stuff, right? Because things is getting out of hand. It's going wild. Everything is topsy-turvy. We don't know what a man and woman is anymore. Well, we know what a man is, but we don't know what a woman is anymore and stuff like that, which is very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. But I just love what the guy Crenshaw, the evil villain right here, just did, because he just proved right there they cannot argue. They cannot argue. When they're back against the wall, there's nowhere to run. They call you transphobic, homophobic. They start the name calling. Name calling don't work. That's when they be like, yeah, I don't feel safe here. I'm leaving. You know what I'm saying? I knew this was a bad idea communicating with you. I'm leaving. I was here in good faith, but I see you took advantage of that. I'm leaving. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, you can leave. Hey, before you leave, don't forget to, take my nuts with you. What are you talking about, son? That even makes sense, but hey, they're not making sense, so I can say whatever the hell I want. But that's all I got to say on this, man. If you stay this long, I appreciate you. I love you. Make sure you hit the subscribe button as well as with the post notification. That way, you'll be one of the first to hear the voice. Same time, leave a like, because I'm so damn insecure in those likes that let me know I'm doing a stand-up job. And at the same time, you gotta buy the merch. Mofo, men offering females orgasms. We're so humble. Link in the description box below. That's all I gotta say. Peace and blessings, you ugly bofos. And I'm out.